Really, really gutsy performance by Dylan Carter. And I wasn't sure exactly how many pitches. I knew he was near 70. But really, we had him up and down a couple times yesterday, so that counts as pretty much pitching. And we just felt like that he kind of got better there in the eighth. We were probably thinking, we were thinking that's probably it. And then he wanted to go back out and had a really good, really quick eighth. And I think he just ran out of gas. And then obviously Christian came in and, he's one of the younger guys we had left in the bullpen, but we just, you kind of you had to go what your eyes tell you, what you see. And what we've been seeing is Christian's been throwing good, been throwing better than some other guys, and he's hard to hit. He throws a heavy ball. You saw his velocity. He's got a pretty good downer type split finger pitch that, he threw to Merritt there, and then he zipped him a fastball, and I think he was probably sitting on that off speed again, and he just threw that 96 right by him, and that was a big out. Jammed the next hitter, and then obviously even count. Just went with the fastball or maybe full count, and hit it hard. Stovall made a great play on it, and just a big win for us, to finish this thing off, especially when we're facing a pitcher that had been really as hot as Beam had been. The guy's got good stuff, good breaking ball, good fastball, and he only walked 9 all year. And we got his pitch count up, fouled off a lot of pitches, and I think he walked 4 or 5 anyway, and got a couple of big hits, and hey, what a weekend for us.
Dave, can you talk about the decision to start Bybee and just what did you think of his outing today?
Yeah, it came down to him and one other. But his stuff's good. It's about throwing strikes, and he's got a pretty good breaking ball, and he showed a change up a little bit today to the left-handers, and so we just decided, just to go with him. He started a few midweek games. He started a game a couple weeks ago against Alabama, and he looked like a world beater for 2 hitters, as you remember, and then it didn't go good, and we ended up winning the game, but we just thought, man, if he could start, give us 2, 3, 4. The third was his best, and then you're thinking, okay, man, we can get another one out of him, and didn't go so good. So, but that's kind of what we were thinking.
Was the plan all along to go to Carter right after Bybee, and you feel like that played out about how you wanted it to?
Yeah, the plan was to go to Carter if there was what we in the dugout we call some traffic on the bases there. People on base, because he has experience with that. It's not going to get him all uptight. So that's kind of what we did. But he was, especially when when Bybee gave us 13 outs, or would he give us 10 outs? I just feel like that, that we're trying to shrink that game, and he was the guy. We didn't think he could finish it, and we weren't planning on that. And he almost did. So, great job by him.
Yeah, Coach Boone was really the one guy in their rotation that hadn't been struggling. He had been pretty consistent for them. Just what was the key to really never letting him settle in just from the opening get go?
Well, our plan was to not swing at the pitch above the belt if at all possible. Easier said than done. When a guy's throwing in the mid 90s on up, you see it and you got to make a decision in a split second. So, and not to go out of the zone too much. And it seemed like he really started throwing the breaking ball a lot. He felt like that maybe he could command it. He was bringing it in around the side to the left-handed hitters, and he was getting that call a little bit. And I think he got frustrated with a little bit of everything out there: the wind, the zone, the stolen bases, and we were very fortunate to get that 3-run lead, and then looked like we were going to let a big inning slip away there in the second. And Slaving's got the big hit after the hit by pitch review. We heard it hit. We knew it hit him because we heard 2 sounds: hit, bang, bang, tip, tip, whatever. And the umpire didn't hear it, I guess. And I'm glad that they saw that. And first pitch, Brady got a breaking ball and hooked it down the line. Now we're up 6-0. We don't score that 7th run. I think it was the next inning. We got a runner on, I don't know, second, nobody out, third, nobody out, 1 out. We don't score. You're kind of going, wow, that's going to get us later. Then they scored 2 on a big 2-out hit. And, we had another inning set up there where we didn't score, and your wind's blowing out. They're powerful. Things haven't gone their way this weekend. You're just thinking, is this going to flip? because that's kind of the way this game works. I've seen it a lot. So, but our pitching staff came through, the defense came through, turned some double plays, just had a really, really good weekend in the field again.
You mentioned the stuff with Fouch. I mean, he's 96 every pitch, has the splitter. The stuff has always been good, but for him to come out and show that he can do it in a big spot like that, late in the game, high leverage situation, just how big is that for him to kind of assert himself in the back end?
Well, I think it's huge, and he kind of showed us last week against Ole Miss that he's ready for this because they have a good lineup, tough place, and he just went out there and pitched. He didn't get all carried away or worried about what was going on the bases, and he knew we had a lead, and he didn't need to worry about those runners. He just needed to attack the hitters, and that's what he did.
You gave Ben McLaughlin 3 starts at DH this week. What'd you think of the way that he swung the bat for you?
I thought he swung the bat great, honestly. I mean, here's a guy that only hadn't been in the batter's box, I don't know, in 2 months, and his bats are good. What I like about him, he'll fight you, and he's a good hitter with 2 strikes, as he showed you today. I don't know, he's got a good swing, and I just felt like that it was time to give him an opportunity. He's been hitting the ball really well in batting practice, and I think he's kind of a gamer. Honestly, that's just what I read. And he almost hit a home run. The guy made a great catch that would have broke the game open, and then he hits one in the gap, or triple, whatever, another single, and just had a great weekend. I think he was a threat, and they were worried about him.
About your aggressiveness on the base pass yesterday, but we saw that again in the first with Josenberger stealing, setting Peyton Stovall up for an RBI. He hadn't had the best weekend to that point, but maybe how big did you think that play was?
It was big because I think it was it just kind of showed them we were going to continue to do what we're doing until they stop us. And pitcher he had a pitch to throw on, he still beat it. Tavian can run, can really excel, and we stole another one. Bolton stole that bag. He was safe, and they called him out because he came off the base. But I like the way that we just kind of, like I said yesterday, we just kind of took what they gave us, and we didn't just wear it out. Their pitching's too good to string together too many hits. We had to advance people, and we did leave some runners out there today that I'm just glad it didn't come back to get us.
Tennessee's last 3 pitchers threw 6 and 3 pitches. I wonder what your perspective was as that kind of bottom of the 8th was unfolding.
Yeah, there might have been 2 things going there. First up, they wanted to match up, and they brought in I think it's Connell. That's a lefty. That's what he does. He comes in and he gets lefties out, but we pinch hit, and then he still got our guy out, and then brought in another lefty. So I didn't really understand that move. So then I'm thinking, are they just trying to freeze our pitcher? And what are they doing? But I mean, it worked out. Everybody did their job for the most part. I mean, Xander, whatever, he got a ground ball that made it into left field, and then the last pitcher, Russell, is a double play ball. So I don't know. I don't really worry about what the other team's doing too much when it's come to that kind of stuff. But I just try to think why a little bit. But they know their team.
I think it was in the 5th, maybe, where he stretched all the way across and it went to review. Just kind of what his presence has been like at first base defensively throughout the weekend.
He's probably better than anybody in this league that I've seen so far. He saved us a lot of runs, made a lot of great plays, and they're kind of throwing into the wind a little bit, and deep ball over there, and the ball took off, and Brady kind of adjusted his feet and held that base just long enough. I mean, they reviewed that. I think that's the review play, and if they overturn that, they got a run in. Instead, we're in the dugout, so he saved us a run right there. He also drove in at least 4. So I'd say he had a pretty good day.
Dave, Tony's obviously done a great job. Tennessee won a lot of games, but in your all's matchups, your team's 9-1 against his team. What do you think about that?
I think good for us because we're supposed to we're trying to win. I mean, I don't really, I don't know, you know, I mean, it's just the way it is. We've played well against Tennessee, and that's, yeah, he's done a great job. They have a good team, and hope they win a lot of games from here on out. But you know, I'm glad that we played good enough to win this thing this weekend.
And you mentioned a lot of traffic. They were getting, I think they got the leadoff runner on 5 times. Only scored once though, with the leadoff guy, but they were 1 of 11 with runners in scoring position. Double plays helped out, but just what do you think was the key to that?
Well, I thought our pitchers really made some pitches when they needed to, and you know, hit a couple ground balls to Cali. Second base got 1. You know, just you got to make pitches when pitchers. You know, if you really look at the numbers, the good pitchers that you see out there a lot, they make pitches with runners in scoring position, and that's how you get the ball. Teams are going to get runners on, and but you gotta make pitches, and if you gotta you know, locate, you got to change speeds, and I think our guys did a great job of that today, all weekend actually.
Mentioned, you know, Cali started those double plays. He's been playing pretty good third base. I think he's hitting 5 or 6 games in a row. He's raised his average about 60 points or something the last few series. Just what have you thought about how he's played over there for you, defensively and offensively?
Well, I think, you know, on both sides of the ball, the offensive side, I think he's starting to get comfortable. He got a big backside single today. I mean, he's hit the ball good, and in the field, he's getting comfortable. I think he's getting comfortable on both sides, and he knows when he comes to the park right now that he's playing. He probably, you know, can relax on that a little bit, and that's what happens. We were just waiting for somebody to take that job. I mean, that was his at the beginning of the season, and he got off to a really slow start, both really offensively and defensively, and I think now he's kind of finding it, and he's been a big help. And so have been other guys, but you know, like our freshmen, I made the comment after the game, the freshmen, you know, they've really helped us out lately. And, you know, if you're going to be good, you got so many guys on your team, doesn't matter what age they have to contribute, and they're doing it. And that's why we've been winning.
Going back to McLaughlin, as well as he swung the bat this weekend, and if Wagner's going to be out a few weeks, do you still try to do the two-way stuff with him, or is he going to focus on hitting for now, or how do you
Oh, yeah,
approach that?
He'll still pitch a little bit. You know, we've got, yeah, what do we use? 2, 4, 7 guys this weekend. We got a game Tuesday. We got a game Thursday, Friday, Saturday at Georgia. So we gotta find a way to get through that game on Tuesday without using our guys we got to use on the weekend as it gets here quick. So it's almost like we're playing a 5-game week again or 5 games in 1 week. So yeah, I would expect that he would throw a couple innings on Tuesday.
And with Wagner, you said he was going to go see a hand doctor again. You know when that is and when you might know.
Yeah, they may be dealing with it today, and there could be a decision made whether they want to go ahead and just let it heal exactly the way it is, or if they need to go in and put a pin in there that will speed things up while it heals. But we're thinking that we'll get him back probably for maybe the last series of the season at 100%.
It seems like your infield defense has gotten a lot better the last 2 or 3 weeks. What's your observation there?
Well, I agree with you, but I think the infield defense has been good all year, honestly. I mean, if you look at our fielding percentage in league, I don't know if anybody's fielding better than us in SEC play. I mean, you know, yesterday we had 1 error, and it was on a ball that got bobbled in the outfield in the first inning. Didn't make one after. I don't know if we made one on Friday. Can't remember. At Ole Miss, I don't think we made an error in 3 games. And, you know, if you make the routine plays and get off the field, it sure helps your pitching staff. It helps the flow of the game, and we've done a really good job with our defense.
This was the fewest runs Tennessee scored in 4 years over the course of a series. Just given their reputation offensively, how does that make you feel that your pitching staff was able to do that over 3 games?
Great, especially when you look at the way the wind was blowing the last 2 days, and you know the wind was kind of blowing in on Friday from right, maybe from in center to the pole there. It's killing things to right, and then it went away in about the 3rd inning. So then the stadium got a little jumpy. So realistically, you know, all weekend the ball was flying. So hats off to the pitching staff. They've done a good job. They did a great job last weekend too. And, it started with the 2 lefties on Friday and then what went on yesterday, freshman closing and freshman closing again today. I mean, that's some stuff you can build off of and gives us some more confidence and some options on the weekend.
Dave, these midweek games can be pretty unpredictable. You just look around the country, especially in the SEC. UCA won at Vandy, I think, the first week, and obviously you guys got beat by ULR last week. Just what's your take on this game Tuesday?
Well, I'll play a few guys that didn't play in the last couple of days or didn't play much, but we're going to try to win it. We just can't, we can't extend anybody. We can't put guys out there that are going to throw probably Thursday or Friday. Maybe somebody that is going to go Saturday, which will be game 3. Yeah, my take on it is we're going to try to win it, but we're not going to, ruin our weekend to do it. And just hopefully some of the guys that get in the lineup, they produce, and hopefully some of the pitchers that are on the mound, they have good outings. UCA's in the same boat we are. They just played 3 conference games. I don't know what they're going to throw at us, but yeah, it's going to go out and play baseball, hopefully play well.
If you throw Adcox and if so,
he's definitely going to throw. Is he going to start? I don't know yet, but he'll definitely pitch.
I know he's a guy you're trying to get going, kind of.
Yep.
What's your hope for him in this game?
Yeah, to get going. Thank you for those words. Well, he's a strike thrower. So he was the guy that we could have started today or brought in, but yeah, so we're gonna get him out there on Tuesday, whether we start him or bring him in a couple innings in and let him get a few innings.
When UCA beat Vandy, do you remember, did that raise your eyebrows? You think, well, hey man, that happened.
UCA is a good program. They play on turf. Vandy plays on turf, so they probably felt comfortable on it. And that was a big win for their program. You travel to Nashville, you want to win, and it's baseball. Anything can happen. And if you don't show up mentally, you'll get beat. If you think, we can just roll the balls and bats out there and we'll beat these guys, and you're thinking about your record compared to their record, you're in trouble. Okay.